Hey guys, this is Kenny from the Level With You channel. Just here to let you guys know if you guys want to come chat with us, we got a Discord server up and running. Link is in the description below. You could give us some feedback, ask us questions, just interact with us or in general. You can also find us on social media platforms. Instagram, we're LVL with you. Twitter, we're Level With You. And on Facebook, you could search Level With You. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Stay level.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Level With You show. My name is Wiley Olmstead, and today I am joined by my good friends Anthony Duart,
I forgot to buy lunch meat.
as well as Kenny Castro.
Hey.
As always, we are a video game podcast where we get together each week and talk about, you guessed it, video games. There's a lot going on this week. The games are flying left and right. I mixed them up. Oh well. So yeah, stuff's coming out. We're going to talk about Control a little bit more, a little bit of Gears 5 impressions, as well as who knows what else. So, guys, let me know, what has been the highlight of your week thus far?
So what happened this week? I played Smash with you guys on Friday night. I remember very little of it, but I remember being a lot of fun. That's it.
That was it?
So far?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Got a whole week to push in, though, because we got a bunch of games coming out on Friday.
Yep, nothing like a spontaneous Smash session.
I love it.
As she said.
Highlight of my week, the fiance surprised me and she painted the bathroom.
What?
I thought I was gonna end up having to paint it when she bought the paint, and she bought the paint. I had patched up the hole, and I was letting the compound sit so I could sand it, and she painted everything except for the patch. So
Nice.
I just had to go in, sand it, and paint it. Called it a day. I'm like, the bathroom looks really nice. It's like I'm colorblind, so to me it looks like a aqua bluish with some gray hint to it.
What is it really?
I don't know. like
Colors aren't real.
like a green blue. I think that's what she said. Like, I don't know.
Okay, well, shout
Sounds
out to Midalis.
Yeah.
Nicely done. All right, what about you, Tyler?
Let's see. This weekend, Caitlin and I went to a soccer game in Hartford.
Nice.
The Hartford Athletics. They won like 5-1. There was a few good goals.
Nice.
And yeah, it was a good time.
So what is that, like AAA soccer?
Yeah,
Double A?
something like that.
Okay.
They were on ESPN though.
Oh.
So.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it's according to Caitlin, who is a soccer fanatic.
Oh, yeah.
Neither of the teams were good at all.
Oh.
Or football, as they like to call it.
Who does she prefer,
The ocean.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Gosh, I don't know. I don't think either of them are on her team.
Ooh,
Does she do fantasy soccer or something?
No. Well, it is a thing, but no, I can't remember what team she roots for. And when she listens to the podcast, she's gonna be like, you remember what team you root for?
I bet you she's like a Bayern Munich fan or something like that.
Probably.
Weird.
I could see that.
Bend it like Beckham. That's all I know.
So yeah, we did that, and then we went to West Haven and hung out with a couple of our other friends. Then we watched football on Sunday. Made some fried pickles out there. And
Ooh.
Nice.
they actually came out very good.
Those are tough to make if you don't have a fry later.
Did you deep fry them? How'd you
Yeah,
do
we
it?
deep fried them. We just had a pan with oil in it and made a batter, and then threw them in there, and then we made some like ranch buffalo sauce.
Oh.
Gotta do the spicy ranch for the fried pickles.
Oh,
Yep.
my God.
Nice.
That sounds so good.
So yeah, it was a pretty good weekend.
Yeah.
And other than that, I've just been nonstop playing Monster Hunter.
Okay, hell yeah, we'll hear more about that shortly. So real quick, my highlight also, we've got really great significant others. I had a good Sunday with Elena. We went on a good hike up in Shelburne Falls. We got some fresh peaches from the farm. We got some good cider from a cidery. We hung out with her sister-in-law and husband, who are real cool. So yeah, that was my highlight, I have to say. So yeah.
What cidery did you go to?
West County, which is actually, I learned, the longest continuously operating cidery in the U.S.
Wow.
since 1984.
Do they do hard cider? Or
Oh, yeah,
just-
that's all it is.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. hmm And they're very, like, they don't can. They're all 750 milliliters. Kind of has a very winery type vibe.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very fresh.
Yeah. And complex flavors, a little bit of funky sour beer inspired stuff. And
Ooh.
so,
Get
yeah.
behind that.
Yeah, I haven't actually tried them yet, but one of the bottles that I bought I didn't realize this until he was ringing me up. He's like, "Oh, that one's like 5 to 6 years old, just so you know." I was like, "Okay."
All right. Perfect.
Yeah, because I asked him, I was like, "Do ciders have aging potential, like a lot of the sour beers?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, that one is from 2014." So yeah, I'll drink that soon.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Where was this place?
It's in Shelburne.
In Shelburne.
Yeah.
Fancy that. I know Caitlin likes ciders very much.
It's a super quaint, and like they're only open from 12 to 5 on Saturday and Sunday to the public.
Okay.
So yeah, and it's like there's also a really nice farmer stand where you can get apples and peaches and honey and cotton candy and all that type of stuff right nearby.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a good trip, and then you can go hiking. It's a really easy hike, but really cool views at, I think it's called High Ledges, something Ledges. Anyway.
Huh. Let's check that out.
All right, getting into the games, and I have to mention a few other things. If you are wanting to consume the show in an audio format, you can do that on podcast services. Podcast Addict, Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. We're on all of those, so check us out there. We also have a Discord that I hear gets more and more active by the week. I tend to hop in from time to time. You can find descriptions on how to join that in the description of the video. Alrighty. I'll also check out Anthony's great unboxing video where he opens up a bunch of cards. It's fun. It's a fun time.
Posted it soon. It's a Dragon Ball Super card game. Listen to a person who doesn't know really much about the card game. Open 2 starter decks. You get to look at all the shiny cards.
Hell yeah.
Should be good.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. So who wants to kick it off? Kenny and me. I think that's really that we should start it off. We're playing the new game, Gears 5.
Yep. So we're playing both two kind of different aspects of the game. You're playing the campaign. I'm playing the multiplayer. What do you think about the campaign so far?
So give some background on my history with the series. The only one that I've played to completion is 2. I've dabbled in 1 and 3, not because of disliking it, just being more of a PlayStation gamer or a Nintendo gamer at the time. And the only reason that I hopped on this day one was the Game Pass Ultimate thing. So I looked up some backstory. I'm still kind of filling in the gaps as far as the narrative goes. But I'm enjoying the characters. I even have some nostalgia for Marcus, who's the main protagonist in the first 3 games. And now he's older and a prominent side character in 5.
Yep.
Not familiar with any of the younger cast, but I think that they've given pretty solid performances so far. I like JD is kind of a conflicted, complicated son of Marcus, who you begin the game as. And then a little bit later, you play as Kate, who has been more prominently featured in the advertising for the game. And she's the biggest head on the box art. So I don't know if I'm playing as her now. I don't know if it's going to switch back to JD or what.
I just keep thinking of Scrubs when you say JD. I'm like, oh man, I'd love to see JD.
Is that the
From Scrubs,
Zachary? What's his
Yep.
name?
Zach Braff.
Okay,
And Gears.
that would be good.
That'd be good.
Maybe an unlockable skin.
I wish. Please put that in the game. Eagle!
So it starts off as sort of your standard third-person cover shooter with clearly marked objectives and linear paths, very cinematic cutscenes interspersed between the moment-to-moment action / linear exploration where you're just, maybe peeking around this corner to get a collectible instead of just following the straight path. The combat it feels pretty similar to the other ones. Of course, it's more fluid and it's gorgeous. I think this is one of the best looking games on console ever. What really impressed me about it is that as you're fighting the enemies who are, there's the Swarm, who are the organic evil life forms, and then there's all these robots that I'm also fighting for, I don't know why. But as you're fighting, you're seeing, like, especially with the robots, you'll see all their parts all over the battlefield afterwards. You'll see shells all over the ground. It really looks like a battle just happened, and it runs pretty smoothly. I haven't seen any significant dips. I'm playing on the 1S. So they've certainly taken their cues from Sony first-party games as far as pacing a little bit. Like, there's good parts where you're just sort of walking through the environments and there'll be good dialogue between the characters, and that breaks up the moments of intensity really effectively. Like I was getting some serious Uncharted vibes. Walking through like a specific town reminded me of in Uncharted 2 when you're after like a really crazy action sequence. There's like a really tranquil scene where you're walking through a village, and I don't know. That's a scene that's the game is well known for, and in this I was recalled a bit here.
This might be a good spot to find some ingredients.
Did you have that? Any of that?
I know you told me what
Cooking
that
system?
was from.
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom
Oh,
Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Anytime you go into an area where you can
No,
find
but
ingredients.
let me talk about some things that are not shooting related. So something that I understand.
Meowster.
Something I understand is new to the game is you have this kind of drone thing following you around that they call Jack, that you upgrade over the course of the game. When you're aiming your weapon, you press Y, you kind of shoot out something that either can send out like a flashbang to get them out of cover, or an electricity thing that shocks them. Shocker. But then if you also just hit Y, he'll do something like either give you a temporary shield buff, so you can kind of like run into a bunch of enemies and shotgun a few without fear of being killed.
It's like a more useful little robot guy from Nier Automata.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you can't constantly fire projectiles just like you can with him, but
You can also send them to bring a weapon to you, right?
yes, you
Oh,
can.
that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That sounds a lot handier.
Yeah, it's useful. I do think that his powers aren't quite as powerful as I want them to be. Like I'm when I'm in these challenging firefights, especially in Chapter 2 or in Act 2, which is where I'm at now, I feel like it's only semi-useful as far as crowd control, because it really ramps up in difficulty. I was dying a few times last night, and I don't think I died once in all of Act 1, but I'm near the end of Act 2. Structurally, the game takes a big turn after the completion of Act 1. It kind of becomes a little bit open world. You have a map. There's different objectives with question marks. There's a few different side quests. And it really reminded me of the way that they structure Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which was the DLC / standalone game for Uncharted 4 where you played as Chloe. Well, it keeps its super cinematic nature and the good banter between you and your partner Dell when you're exploring, that it feels natural. And so it still feels like a main quest, even though technically you're doing side questy type things. So overall, I got a little bit turned off in Act 2. I'm hoping that when I finish it and move on to Act 3 that it goes a little bit more towards the run and gun of Act 1. But that's a very minor gripe. Like I still enjoyed my time in Act 2. It's all in like a frozen tundra type place. Pretty neat. Looks beautiful. So yeah, mostly pretty darn positive on it. I haven't gotten a chance to get into the multiplayer though, so why don't you let me know about that? Let the audience know.
So with the multiplayer, I've been jumping in with a couple of guys playing ranked matches for Team Deathmatch, even though it's the mode I hate the most. I like more objective-based modes, King of the Hill. Dodgeball is like an execution, but with the option that if a team member is dead and I kill an opposing team, I bring back somebody. So I like Dodgeball because there's this possibility of making a comeback. You could come back from being one against 5. If you get 2 kills and run away, you get 2 more. Your teammates back.
You played that in 4?
I played that in 4.
Okay, and it's
So
back.
and it's back in 5. So, but I've been playing Team Deathmatch. It feels much faster and more fluid than 4, and 4 was pretty good. 4's multiplayer was pretty good. So I definitely like the multiplayer. I tried a couple of the escapes to give it a shot, see what it is. It's a new game mode.
They've been hyping that one up a lot. They showed that was the main thing they showed at E3.
Yep. So it's interesting. I've been playing it on beginner, and I could see once you ramp up the difficulty, if you put it on normal, hard, master, whatever it is, I could see how intense it can get. Where communication is a big thing because it's a 3-man. You go in with 2 other people, and the objective is that you are trying to explode this hive, but you have to exit before you destroy it. So you release this deadly toxin that can kill you and also the swarm. inside the hive.
Kind of like the storm in Fortnite.
Exactly. So it's progressively filling up the map behind you as you're progressing. But if it catches up to you, of course, it's gonna kill you. But each room you go in, it's just an undiscovered map. So you don't. Once you take a right into a corridor, it could be a dead end. That's filled with like 5-6 enemies. You start off with just a handgun, so you have to pick up ammo and guns as you're killing other enemies. So I can see where the difficulty level is on it, and you could create your own escape map,
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
and you could publish it online, but you have to be able to beat it.
okay. Super Mario style.
So Super Mario style. So I didn't realize that until I made a map that was super difficult. And then it was like, oh, you gotta beat it before you publish it. I'm like, oh shit, I'll save this.
Hit this trash button right over here.
Not even. I saved it in my draft, and I'm like, I'll rope Wiley into trying do this with me. I'm like, I'll get Wiley and one other person to try this with me, see if we could publish it.
Yeah, well, I can blame you when I get frustrated. Like
Yep.
Kenny, what were you thinking?
Yeah, because I definitely dropped like enemies and mini bosses.
How long did
all
it
over
take
the
you to
place.
make? I didn't even know I had that.
It's quick, very quick.
Okay.
20 minutes, 20,
Oh, okay.
25 minutes, and I made it pretty like detailed. So it's almost like 3 levels in one before you can escape.
Okay.
So
So what's the
So how do you make? Is it like just like a top down like map view where you're just like creating rooms and
yep. So
saying
you're
what
like
enemies you want in
it
each
gives
room,
you a budget for your chapter, so you can. It's by chapter, so you can. I made 3 chapters to my escape, so each chapter gives you a budget of 1,000 work work points that you can spend on, but the enemies don't cost any work points. You could drop as many, but you have a limit per room, per square of how many enemies you could drop in. But you can also drop in item or weapon pickups, and you can like drop in a spawn, like an enemy spawn point, where there's no limit to how many enemies you could put in. 20 of each possible enemy into that spawn point, and they'll just keep flowing out until you like leave the area. So
So what's the progression loop like in escape and versus mode? Like, what there's got to be some meter going up.
So with escape, you gain skill cards and you increase your character's level. Each character has a different ability, special ability, or ultimate ability. The character I've been using, his name is Mac. His ability is a shield. So he pops a shield in front of himself that'll, help and make sure that he's not taking damage from in front of him, but he still take damage from around.
Okay.
Haven't tried the other 2 characters, but as you play and you escape from the hives, you gain more skill cards.
Are there other characters too?
So there's for escape, there's 2 other characters, but in Horde, there's more characters. Horde is the 50 waves, every 10 waves is a boss mode, it's a boss round. That's an intense one. I've only been able to finish a Horde in Gears 4. I haven't been able to do it in any other. In Gears 3, I couldn't finish it. One time got to wave 50 and we just couldn't beat it.
Oof. That's got to take 2-3 hours?
It depends on how good your team is. It could take 2 hours, but if you're dying constantly,
A lot longer.
But if you're rolling
When you die,
through,
do you have to start all over?
you will start that round over.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
But then, if you really think about it, in Horde, if they kill you, if they're wiping your whole team, that means they're most likely destroying a lot of your barriers that you spend a lot of points on to create. So then, when you come back into that round, you don't have those barriers.
Okay.
They're destroyed, and now you're a lot less. If you couldn't do it before, when you had 5 turrets up, 6 barriers, XYZ. Now that you have 2 turrets,
Might as well wipe.
You might as well wipe. You might just give it a shot. I'm one person that I don't care too much about the barriers and the turrets. I try to go head on. Like I say, as long as you're covering bases and you're communicating, and you're sticking not too far, because once you spread out in the map in Horde, it becomes difficult. Once you get dropped, you're expecting somebody to run across fire to come pick you up. So it becomes difficult because now you're putting another teammate in danger because you were too far away from the squad.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So in Horde, it takes a lot of teamwork to get through 50 waves, even
yeah.
on the easy.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
know?
50 waves, that
Because
sounds
it-
a little much.
Because after every 10 enemies, after every boss fight, enemies gain something. So it'll be like double health now, twice damage though. They're getting a multiplier after every 10 waves.
Okay.
So they become increasingly more difficult.
Well, we'll have to give that a shot together.
No, I'm definitely down.
Yeah. Maybe even after the show.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, for someone who's super not into Gears of War, like the way you describe the mode kind of sounds like a top-down, like a almost automatically generated, and that create a mode one, like dungeon crawler, escape room kind of deal.
Well, I think it's still going to be a behind-the-back third-person shooter, but just from I think he was referring to how it looks when you're creating.
Oh yeah,
the
when you're
map.
creating it,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
meant like actually playing through it.
Oh,
It seems,
okay.
It seems really appealing, to,
Word.
like, especially for that kind of game.
Well, you got the Game Pass. You can get it now.
I canceled it.
Dumbass.
I had overdraft on my bank account. Yeah, I was like, uh-oh.
Well,
Shit.
That's hilarious.
That's okay. I'll get it soon.
You should just go with the Ultimate Game Pass. Right now, it's 2 months for $2.
Ooh.
I did that because I had regular Game Pass, and I was like, yeah, I'll pay $2 to play Gears
It
today.
converted everything.
It converted everything, and then like it also said that like my next payment isn't until 2022, which has to be an error.
No, it's not.
What?
I don't get it because
So remember, I was telling you they have a current conversion system. So whatever amount of time you had left on your live, it converts it into Ultimate Game Pass at I think it's a 4-to-1 ratio.
I don't
So
know.
it's
I'm not gonna understand.
So I've talked to the Microsoft rep. I bumped into him at GameStop that day, and he explained it to me. When it first dropped, they were doing a 1-to-1 conversion. So if you had 5 years of Xbox Live, you would have gotten 5 years of Ultimate when you did the $1 for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So it was insane. They were like, oh, they're just being real, like right now because they're all about it. They're doing a 1-to-1 conversion. He's like, oh,
Microsoft is thirsty.
he's extremely thirsty.
Thirsty
but,
for that gamer love.
hey,
got
it's
cotton now.
working. Because honestly, I thought the conversion was amazing. Like that's such a great strategy. You get people who they're like, oh, I'm already gonna spend. I gotta renew my live, so I'm gonna spend $60 on it. Might as well spend the $60 plus another $1, and now I have live and Game Pass for a whole year.
Yeah, it's
And all I spent was an extra $1.
yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah.
So moving on from Gears 5, Tyler, I know you've been rummaging around in the game closet looking for something to love on, and you found something.
Yeah, I've been hopping back into Monster Hunter. Me and my roommate have been playing that. He just bought it probably like a week and a half ago, and he's already like at the point in the campaign where I am.
Dang.
I mean, he's probably put in like 50 hours
Wow.
in like a week and a half.
No
Good for him.
And like my character right now, I think when I started playing again, that character had like 70 hours, and now it's got like 100 hours in it.
Okay, so what have you been up to?
Lifting weights
I mean, I've
going to
been going through the campaign, trying to get through as much as I can. I think I've like finished like the main quest line for the
For
game.
the second time? Because
Well-
like I beat the main quest line in like 38 hours or something. And then
Well, there's more after that.
well, sure.
I can't remember if after the first quest line it rolls credits.
It does.
Because then there's another quest line and it rolls credits again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like a whole nother like assigned mission campaign, and I'm not sure how many more times it's gonna do that. But so you finish the first one, it rolls credits, then you keep on going, and your hunter rank still increases like one at a time, like as you do assigned missions.
Yeah.
But then once you finish that quest line, you fight like a giant dragon, and it's like the same. It's kind of similar to like Zora Magdaros, where like it only after you fight it only appears on like rare occasions, and you need it to like craft some of like the best gear.
Is
in
it a
the
giant
game.
one you have to like climb? Same as
No,
Zora
it's
Magdaros?
not a giant one. Like I mean, it's a giant dragon, but it's the same kind of like fighting mechanic as all the other monsters. Xeno Jave or something is what it's called.
Ooh.
Good name.
It's like this blue dragon with like it's just like made out of like energy and light and stuff.
Sweet.
Do you get a new ground to hunt it at? Is that like a post game new area? You said it was like
No,
Elder's Recess, I think?
Yeah, Elder's Recess. I mean, you discover that after like the first campaign, I guess, the Zora Magdaros arc. Yeah, we'll call it.
What is it? Elder's Recess.
It's where like a bunch of elder dragons live or go to die, I guess, is what it's for. So yeah, like I fought all the elder dragons, finished that, and then once you finish that, it boosts your hunter rank. So I think I was at like hunter rank 15 or 16, and then after that, it boosts you up to like 24, like
Wow.
right immediately after it. And then you have like a couple more assigned quests. You have special assignments. That's when it introduces like the Witcher like special assignment quest.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. How's the Geralt?
It's pretty good. I tried his quest once and failed. I actually ran out of time for it.
Is it an hour?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
15
I think.
minutes. Yeah.
So I definitely have to go back and try that. But I just got caught up back in trying to like grind for gear, trying to get like a certain build going. I mean, I looked online, I'm like, oh, what's the best insect glaive build? So
There you go.
I've been trying to grind a bunch of those materials. And the build I'm working on right now gives you like super high like affinity, which affects like your critical hit chance and stuff like that. And then I have like weakness policy. So then like weakness policy combined with like critical hit increases, you'll do like 75% more damage on like weak points and stuff like that. And
That's so satisfying. I love getting a good armor weapon set that just
Where it all just
synergizes
comes together.
so well.
Yep.
Favorite part of the game.
So yeah, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to get Iceborne, because I know that it has introduced a lot of new tools and mechanics. There's like a grappling hook now, which, I mean, to me doesn't really make a huge deal just because I use the insect glaive.
Yeah. Didn't you have a grappling hook before though too? You could like shoot the little bugs
Now you
or
can
whatever.
now you can use it like
at
more
will.
traversal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, I've been hearing really excellent things about it. I mean, it's got like a 90 on Metacritic. It's apparently like a whole new game, dude. You should get it.
Yeah, I probably will. I just wanted to like get all like the stuff I could like before jumping into that.
I'm curious if it's like a separate game, unless like say if I bought it or played it and bought it now and played where I'm at, would it just throw me into it?
No, like you have to be. Maybe you could play it, but from what I've heard, and I've heard a good amount of impressions of it, is this like it is end game stuff.
So yeah, super end game. So like probably where you're at then.
Yeah.
So like second.
Yeah, and
credits
I
roll.
still think I have like more till I'm like at end game level.
Jeez.
Because I mean, people like regular hunter ranks go up to like 130 or something, like 130 something.
Wow.
And yours is what?
Like 36.
Only 100 more to go.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those.
That's whack.
And then
grindy-ass
when you play
games.
Iceborne, then you get master ranks, and then you're
Wow.
doing quests that have master rank.
What does the
things
Geralt
and-
quest give you? Is it just like Witcher gear?
Yeah, I think once you defeat the monster, it'll probably unlock another weapon set, an armor set.
Nice.
I'm not sure exactly, but
That's pretty
we'll
cool.
find out when I do it. So, playing that, who knows how much longer I'll continue playing it, especially with like Borderlands and a bunch of other games coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, that's what I've been binging.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, last week I was discussing Control. I was very positive on it. I wrapped it up this week, beat it a couple days after we finished last week's show, and I'm just as positive as I was. There were, so I even after I completed the game, which it's an abrupt ending. I will say that, and I thought it was over, and then there's just a little bit something more afterwards, which I appreciated, and it sets up the post game in a fun way where you kind of want to keep still exploring and looking back on the stuff you missed. So I went back and found a couple optional bosses that were very tough to uncover. Like the game really has some cool secrets and some neat puzzles that you could very easily miss, and you get essentially, I would say that 50% of the game's bosses, if not more, are completely optional.
Wow.
And because most of the encounters in the regular game are just sort of waves of enemies with maybe one sort of mini boss type figure, but the full-on bosses with like the big health bar on the top of the screen are mostly the hidden stuff. So that's really neat. A couple of them I will say, one of them I had to cheese. It was so freaking cheap. It was just like, it was this one guy who he wasn't himself hard, but he would spawn ads, and one of the ads would just like, you would hear a quick shriek, and then you would like, before you could even get your shield up, half the time he would like two-shot you. And he had a big health bar, so I ended up just staying up on a little perch and blasting him away. And it took about 15 minutes, but anyway,
It works.
it worked.
If it works, it works.
So yeah, still a really cool game with a bold story, excellent sound design, rewarding exploration, piss poor frame rate on PS4. I plan on platining it. I'm gonna go back, in a month or two, wrap up all the stuff that I missed. It's pretty easily platinum. I already have like 75% of the trophies. So yeah, that's Control. Now, why don't we talk a little bit about our fun times Saturday night, was it, with Smash? So the new DLC character, Banjo-Kazooie, is out.
Yep.
And Tyler, you've had the most experience playing him, I believe. I know Anthony has a bit too.
I think so. Did I play it? I was really drunk. I don't remember, but it was fun. I he's got the Wonder Wing, which is crazy. It's like on par with Ganon's Warlock Punch. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, it's
pretty
his
powerful.
most powerful attack.
Yep.
Hands down. Aside from that, I feel like his attacks are pretty. I don't know, just basic.
Yeah.
How's his side B? My friend was telling me that the side B.
that's
That's
what it
the
is.
Wonder Wing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like super invincible.
And I think you only have like 5 chances to use it.
Yeah. Per stock.
So yeah, he charges up. He turns all gold. Uses one of the feathers and just charges at people and does like a massive amount of damage. So if somebody's at probably like 60-70%, it could probably KO them.
I hear
It
that
hits
he's got a
hard.
good grab too. Where you, like, he slams them into the ground, and then like the higher percentage that they have, the longer they stay in the ground.
Oh yeah, I haven't even really experimented with that.
Check that out. Yeah, because I know that there's that one attack he does where he grabs Kazooie out of his backpack and takes him and just whips him down. I don't know if that's the
Yeah.
throw or just his like tilt.
Did you play the stage at all? The Banjo
No,
stage?
no, actually, I didn't even try the stage. I just
Oh.
like jumped right into the character.
Gotcha. I think they. Did you play the Banjo games back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I played Tui, and I loved Tui. I also played Kazooie, but I didn't beat that one. But Tui,
Those are long. They're very long, like
They are very
definition
long
of
games.
collectathon games. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
totally.
Got all the puzzle pieces.
get all the puzzle pieces and put them in painting and then go to the next level. Don't get a game over. You might get an awkward boner when you're a little kid because the Ugly Witch gets super hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember that game.
that.
That's the only game over screen I like vividly remember for being like little, like not super, kind of like really scared about it, but like watching it being like, oh wow, this is weird.
Yeah.
Reset the game.
Yeah, I remember as a little kid, like, yeah, I was scared of that witch.
Yeah, she
what was her name?
sucks.
Grundle?
Gruntilda.
Gruntilda.
Gruntilda. That's funny.
Yeah, I think Banjo and Smash is a super cool addition. He's definitely usable. I'm not sure in what capacity or what level, what tier he would fall under. But he's fun to play.
Yeah.
I remember when Joker came out, people thought he was going to be sort of on lower tier, and he ended up winning Evo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's all how you like the character. That's what I like about Smash. It's all how, the player who uses the character is able to utilize them and then draw out their full potential.
So, anybody else playing anything else, or do you want to move on to the next part of the show?
Let's say move on. Tyler, get the keys to the car.
I'm ready. All right, ready?
I'm ready.
Cruising for a news.
Yeah. Cruising for a newsin', the part of the show where we get some stories off the internet, throw them on a page, read them back to you, and discuss. All right, so the day after last week's show, there was a big Nintendo Direct. I know it's kind of old news at this point, so bear with us. I'm gonna
Not bear like Banjo, because I get it. Oh
got
my
it.
god.
So after the Nintendo Direct, they did say Banjo, he's out right now. And we also got a new Smash character announcement. I think they did it in a pretty fun way. Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury. What?
I like his hat.
Yeah,
That's about it.
I mean, I've never played a Fatal Fury game. I know it's an SNK franchise. Cool that they're just getting in all over the place. So any thoughts on this character?
I think it'll be good. It was, from left field. But then again, that morning, right before they announced it, I thought I saw screenshots on Reddit. Somebody was like, "Oh, if you look at Challenger Pack 4, it has the SNK copyright, so it's a SNK character." You know, so they like people were all over it. So it wasn't that it was Terry. It was a shock, yes, because I think they were leaning towards someone else. And I forget who it was.
I hope it was Mai.
Some of the people were saying Mai, yes. But I forget who it was. They were leaning towards somebody completely different. It ended up being Terry. I like it. More of a hand-to-hand combat character, you know. Because I was afraid we were going to get another sword user, right away.
He's full of sword fighters.
Even though I do think we're going to still end up getting one more in not this challenge pack, but the next one. We'll get at least one or two more.
for sure.
Because I even believe we're going to get the main character from Three Houses, Fire Emblem Three Houses added in at some point.
Yeah, why not?
I could see that. That was cool though too. At the end of that announcement, when they showed off Terry, they told us Banjo was available. They're like,
Yep.
"Don't worry, we're gonna give you more DLC characters," and that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was another somewhat surprise.
I was very
There's
surprised.
going to be a whole nother Challenger pack. I assume that means most likely 5 more characters.
That's insane.
I hope so.
That's a lot to give. I mean,
Yeah.
I just hate the people you can still see complaining about, like, "Oh, what's this? Huge characters, you get one more, and I gotta wait," and there's nobody's happy. It's like, come on.
Really?
This is an amazing amount of DLC. Not nobody, but the certain people you see online, I just don't get.
The vocal
Minority.
Yes.
But you know what's interesting, right? You know who's top 3 in every list, no matter the region: Japan, U.S., U.K.
Goku.
Sora.
Oh, really?
Sora is top 3 in
Jesus.
every list
Well,
for
Huh.
what people want.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Imagine that. You know.
He's got a lot of
cool.
potential movesets.
He definitely does.
Oh,
I
yeah.
could see
Form change.
The
the
train
Trinity.
break.
Mhm.
A
Trinity,
a
Form
Trinity
change.
attack.
Yep. It'd be sick. I feel like they're gonna put Shantae in. I have a feeling. I think that they might
see
put
that
her in.
happening.
You know who I want?
The next
Who?
challenge pack.
Bender from Futurama.
I'd want his amiibo. I'd buy a Bender amiibo.
Yeah.
You know who'd be a cool character? Cuphead.
Cuphead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Represent.
Maybe
That'd
that's
be
what they're
pretty cool.
waiting for. With did the DLC come out yet?
No, not yet.
No, but
That could be a
that-
prediction.
Prediction. Yeah. Good
yes.
call. Good call.
With the
Tyler.
Cuphead amiibo.
Mugman. Yeah.
Well, Mugman would just be a skin.
A skin, yeah.
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 But that's a good one.
And then
I didn't think of that
Cuphelda,
one.
or whatever her name is, the Chalice.
Oh, he would have so many good powers too.
Mhm.
I mean, his B would be the snap.
Yeah, is that
Oh,
You
I
go-
mean, there's all the different kinds of bullets. There's the
he
they
could-
come
yeah.
back. There's like the shotgun.
I hope they don't
bullet.
make him like a
Nice.
Shadow Fighter for Mega Man.
Maybe
Or
they
is it
maybe
Mirage
they could do
Fighter?
his counter. They could, you know how some of the characters have counters, or he could a parry, a jumping
That's
parry.
true.
Yeah.
Down B.
So some other stuff mentioned in the Nintendo Direct, which was a big one, 40 minutes. So we're gonna go over these rapid fire. I hope. So Nintendo announced Super Nintendo Online, or games you can play them. Sorry, I'm getting a little word salad thing going on here. But Super Nintendo games for Nintendo Online users are now available. It's a separate app from the Nintendo Online. 20 games available right from the get-go. It's got all the not all the classics, but a bunch of them. No extra cost. I remember we were debating that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's pretty much best case scenario what we were talking about,
Yeah.
which I'm very happy to see.
So yeah, you can play Link to the Past, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Pilot Wings.
Did Monkey
Um,
RPG
They
on
did
it?
show off a special controller, right?
They did.
Yeah.
$30 for a wireless Super NES controller. Fair enough. Don't know if I'll be purchasing that, but and it also is sort of like this should work on the Super NES Classic, which has a 5-foot long controller cord. Better than the 2.5 foot one for the original Nintendo, which is just blasphemous. But anyway, moving on, we also got a few game announcements, including Deadly Premonition 2, A Blessing in Disguise. Anybody played Deadly Premonition?
I watched
No.
Oni plays through the first one, and it looked interesting. It was
I played the first maybe 45 minutes on PS3. I think I picked it up for under $5 on a sale
good
one time.
price.
And I thought it was just so bad.
it didn't
Just
look great.
so bad. I mean, I know it's got a cult following and it's got sort of David Lynch vibes, and is weird in all the right ways for some people. but like the combat was just atrocious. The story was incoherent. IGN infamously gave the game a 2 out of 10, and then was re-reviewed with a much higher 7 point something or 8 point something.
Wow.
So I don't care about this. I would give it another shot. Deadly Premonition Origins, which is what they're rebranding the original game as, is also coming out to Switch. So for the fans of the series, cool for them. I don't think anybody saw it coming. Kind of a cult classic that most people thought would stay dead and stay that way. Is just one of those things, but why not? We also got AC Rebel Collection announced. That's Assassin's Creed. It includes Black Flag and Rogue, aka the pirate ones.
What was Rogue for?
Rogue was the weird one that came out the same year as Unity for PS3 and 360.
Huh.
Literally came out like within a month of Unity, which was the next gen one, and this one was only on PS3 and 360. It was ported last year to PS4 and Xbox One. I think it's a pretty highly regarded one. I think you play as a Templar in it, which I know you're not a fan of the series, so that might not mean anything to you, but you're a bad guy.
I was going to say it's the bad guy.
Yeah. But that's pretty cool. I mean, those are massive games and fitting both on the little cartridge. Kudos to those folks. We also got Overwatch announced, which everybody saw coming. You were talking about it a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Tyler, you're the big Overwatch guy here.
Yep.
I remember you said you probably wouldn't jump back in.
No, I think it's it's not going to be like cross-play is what it seems like. It's just going to be exclusive to Switch Online. And I've read a lot into it and heard a lot of people talk about it, and people make some good points. It's like if they do if it is coming to Switch, I feel like they should probably add a more robust single-player experience.
For sure.
Because currently Overwatch is just an online matchmaking multiplayer game, and for Switch players that don't want to have to or for Switch players that want to play on the go and they want to not have to rely on spotty internet connections where they're trying to play and stuff like that, I feel like there needs to be some kind of single player experience. So I mean, we'll see what happens. And for me personally, I wouldn't want to play on Switch just because when I did play Overwatch, I played a lot on PC. And just the control mechanics,
Graphics,
controls, everything would be a little bit different.
Because you didn't have controller support on PC, right? It was a mouse and keyboard.
No, I think you could play with
is.
a controller, but obviously mouse and keyboard is superior.
That's what I've heard. Still trying to get used to it.
We also got a little bit more of a look into Game Freak's side little game called Little Town Hero, coming October 16th, featuring music by Toby Fox, the creator of Undertale.
That was interesting.
It looks so cute.
Yeah, it does look really cute.
We also got some more details on Pokemon Sword and Shield. Apparently there's going to be a curry rice mode where you prepare curries and add them to your curry decks.
I can't wait for my curry
So
decks.
does this get you in?
Yeah, I was like, this is
the
might be
selling
it.
point.
I was already going to play it anyway. Maybe not day one, but now it's like I'll be there at midnight.
Oh yeah. With curry in hand.
Yep. In my Pikachu costume.
Yes, your Pikachu onesie with a bowl of curry. I want Sword and Shield,
We'll just
please.
start a segment where we make a curry in the game and then make it in real life.
Ooh. Yeah.
Wiley's curry.
Yeah.
Wiley's Curry Corner.
Ah!
All right, now
That's
it's got to
tasty.
be a thing.
Now I want curry.
Luigi's Mansion 3, which is releasing on Halloween. That's fun. We got a little look at the multiplayer mode called Scream Park. Going to be 2 to 8 players. You can check that out.
Give us Guigi. I want Guigi. Give me Guigi.
Oh, yeah.
Guigi.
Daemon X Machina. I guess there's a demo for that out.
You can carry over your save data too, because that comes out on Friday.
And there was... what was that? Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like the Dragon Quest demo they released. You can download the demo for Daemon X Machina, play through the first chapter or whatever, let you play through, and then transfer your save data over to the full game when it comes out.
Even if you get it physical?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, talking about that, did you guys get this the special spirit from the Dragon Quest
I
11?
didn't download it.
I did.
I probably should. I want that spirit.
I was like, I bet you if I just download it, start the demo, and then leave, I'll get the spirit.
Yeah.
Then like 2 days later, when Banjo dropped and I got updated it was like, oh, tacos. I'm like, hey, I got the spirit from Dragon Quest.
Nice.
So the spirits of the collectibles in Super Smash Ultimate, like there's what 1,300 of them now.
That's
Oh,
a
it's
lot.
up there. It's like it's between 1,300 and 1,400.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
crazy. So how many do you have?
I have 512.
512.
Nice.
You have more than me by a lot, right? Like 300 by like 300.
I have no idea, dude.
Like last time we talked, I
check
think
my
you said
numbers.
like 600 something.
I got to give that mode another shot. I was pretty cold on it.
I will say I got all of the special ones for Persona though.
Nice.
Like the last battle was ridiculous for the last one, for the one that where it's the whole team.
Oh yeah, you have to beat everybody.
My
Yeah,
God,
that's,
you
that,
gotta
I think
beat-
that's one I'm stuck.
You gotta
on right
beat
now.
everybody, and then Joker comes out and instantly gets his ultimate attack like 5 seconds later.
He has his final smash.
Yeah, he gets his final smash like within 5 seconds of appearing. And so it took me a little bit, but let me know if you need help because now we could do it together.
Oh,
we
yeah.
could do co-op.
I like that.
We can do co-op spirit mode.
Yep.
Yeah,
Or
spirit board.
not the spirit board, not the not the regular spirit story.
What
But
are you
the
talking
spirit
about?
board you can do co-op.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. I didn't know that.
That was an update in like 2 updates ago.
Dang.
All right, so I think that's all the stuff that at least was relevant enough for us in the Nintendo Direct. There was a lot. We can't necessarily talk about all of it. So some other more recent stuff. I thought it was super cool. I didn't even know about it, but Celeste Chapter 9 was just released today, which is a free DLC for one of the best games of the past few years, in my opinion. It's a really great platformer, about $20, very challenging, awesome music. And I'm super stoked to go back and play the final chapter, which I guess is like 2 to 3 hours long.
Wow.
Tyler, you and I were both playing that at the same time, going on a couple years ago now.
Yep.
So you gonna jump back in?
Yeah, if it's free DLC, I'll finish it off.
Yeah, and
with a
there's
bang.
There's like stuff that we both didn't do in the first. I know, like there's a bunch of B-sides and C-sides.
Dude, those freaking B-side missions in Celeste are so hard.
They really are.
Some of them, like, if I really tried and put the time into it, I'm sure I could do them. But
That just looks like
it
too
is
much of
so
an optional
much
headache.
So much trial and error, so much just precision inputting that you need to get through these levels. They're so hard.
I know. If the game didn't have the best music ever and you didn't instantly respawn at the beginning of the screen, I wouldn't be about it. But since you do, it's awesome.
Have you guys watched speedruns of that yet?
No.
It's pretty entertaining, especially TASs or tool assisted speedruns of Celeste, where they have like a computer. Somebody programs a computer to pretty much do like higher than something that's obviously beyond human input, but like just pinpoint like button presses, but it goes crazy. Like it's very entertaining to watch, and they beat it decently fast. But it's cool to see a human do it, and then like watching one of the robots kind of like
Oh, dang.
just do it.
Nice. I have to check that out. We got another game announcement. RE Project Resistance tease. Got kind of some pretty cool trailer about like 4 characters shooting some zombies. At the end, you see Mr. X come in looking all brooding. And then you get a splash at the end, says more info at Tokyo Game Show. Capcom's been on a roll lately.
Yes.
What are our hopes for RE Project Resistance?
Well, my guess is I'm thinking it's gonna come out and it's gonna be somewhat like a Left 4 Dead, you know, a game.
Fill that void.
Fill that void that we've been missing with no Left 4 Dead 3. But I hope it also brings in some of the elements from Outbreak. I know it's Resident Evil Outbreak on the PlayStation 2 is a game that I feel like not too many people tried when it came out. It went really under the radar because it was meant to be an online multiplayer game on the PlayStation 2. I picked it up because I like Resident Evil games, even though I never beat them for most of them. And so I picked it up, and it was super hard to beat that game by yourself because it's meant to be played with others, you know. So I hope, as long as it stays away from a lot of the elements from Operation Raccoon City, which were kind of bad. Like some of that stuff was.
Was that the Wii one?
No, that one
That
was
was like the
on
PS
360 and PS3,
Oh, okay.
and that was the one where you were like mercenary, like you were Umbrella operatives.
Gotcha.
And each one had like different skills, and you know the story was it was blah, The multiplayer was also kind of, I understand they try to do something different. They try to have AI zombies in the middle of team death matches that could attack both parties, both teams. But it was completely glitchy and it was, so flawed. But they tried something different, and you give them kudos for it. But I would like it for it to stick to like a Left 4 Dead formula,
Okay.
Let me take on Mr. X with a team, with my 3 buddies.
So I think my prediction is that with the success of recent games like Friday the 13th and Dead by Daylight, that we get something like that.
Oh, I kind of like where you're going with it. Where
Yeah.
where Mr. X is user controlled.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's going to be like a hide and go seek type thing.
damn! I'd buy that day up.
Yeah. So from the trailer, you definitely get a little bit more vibes that you're going for, but my hope is that maybe it's a combination of the two, something a little bit
2 different game
innovative.
modes.
Yeah. There could be 2 different game modes too. But we'll see more at TGS, Tokyo Game Show, happening September 12th through the 15th. So we'll have all the happenings from that next week. So what else we got? Bada boom, bada bing. Hideo Kojima tweeted out that there's going to be a very easy mode that you can even beat if you can't beat the first level of Pac-Man. So that's neat, I guess. They're going for a very cinematic flavor. They want everybody to be able to experience it. Anyway.
That's my game mode.
I just want to pee.
You just want what?
I just want to pee.
You just want to pee?
Pee in game.
Oh, yeah. pee
Anthony,
in
we
game.
need to coordinate so we could pee in the same spot.
Yeah, we'll make the
We
mushrooms
could make
grow.
the mushroom grow.
I like that. We'll make the biggest one.
So I also saw a tweet from him this morning that the TGS presentation is going to be 49 minutes long.
Of
Wow.
just Death Stranding?
Of Just Stranding.
Holy
That'll be
So,
sad.
this man has an ego.
Oh, yeah. I don't blame him after what he went through. Now he's like, look at me.
Yeah. So we will see and have a lot more Death Stranding reactions next week. Fun little story here. Sad if you're EA. They officially have the Guinness Book of World Record for most downvotes on Reddit. 683,000 in response to the whole loot box debacle about Star Wars Battlefront 2. Second most, only 89,000 downvotes.
That's insane.
So it has like 7 times as many downvotes.
Wow.
Just funny to look back on that now. Game's in a much better place, but never got to do it. It maybe deserved. One story that just happened as of today, and it's not even on the paper. We just watched a little bit of upstairs. We got some news about the Apple Arcade, which is a new subscription service for mobile games / iPad. $4.99 a month. Got to look at a couple neat-looking sort of indie titles. Also learned from Apple's website, you can now pair your PS4 or Xbox controller. That's a smart move. I don't know. This looks like a fun thing for kids, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, oh yeah, you stepped in a little bit afterwards. It's essentially the model of Xbox Game Pass.
For mobile games.
For mobile games, new things added every month.
Okay.
Also playable on like Apple TV,
Wow.
as well as iPad, and
Okay.
so pretty much anything Mac.
Yeah.
And you can't beat that price. And it's a free. There's a month free trial. I think it begins September 19th. It's already rolling out, so it'll be interesting to see if it shakes up the mobile market at all.
Yeah, interesting to see what kind of games they put out for it.
Yeah, if they get any sort of exclusives that get buzz, and it's like, oh well, this is the game you gotta try.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like in response to Stadia coming, trying to keep people on Apple platforms and.
For sure. Stadia definitely appealing, going for that more hardcore crowd. I mean, getting games like Destiny, Assassin's Creed, and you don't think you're going to be seeing that. And they're not streaming. But yeah, it's interesting to see them get into the gaming space a little bit more so. To me, it seems more likely to succeed than Stadia because the barrier to entry is lower. And it's sort of more of a wider appeal than Stadia, which is a niche audience that's like the hardcore gamer that doesn't necessarily care about latency, that doesn't care about owning games. I think Stadia's got an uphill battle. So that's just my 2 cents on it.
All you need to do is buy a $1,000 piece of technology in order to get your $5 subscription.
But who does? I mean, yeah. But everybody pays their iPhones off after over years, or 2 years or whatever. I mean, I know that some crazy people put down the $1,000 right there, but
Yeah, day of.
Bad
Yeah.
paying bills.
I'm all set with that.
Here's my mortgage payment.
yeah.
Take my house. I want an iPad.
Take it.
So yeah, that's it for Cruising for Newsin. We do have some new releases coming out. Borderlands 3, I think that's currently sitting at an 85 on Metacritic. Gears 5, 86 on Metacritic. There's this new game called, what is it, Greedfall. Looks like a super interesting Western RPG. I think that's only at 74 on Metacritic, but still getting some good buzz. And the hits just keep on coming. It's that time of year. So we had a question from one of our viewers. This is from John. This is the mailbag portion of the show. And the question is, what game are you surprised never got a sequel? And which is the one you'd like to see the most? Ant, tell us about your answer here.
I wrote that I would like to see a sequel to Mega Man Legends 2 because they left the second game and left it off as a big cliffhanger, and then there was like part of the plot you were gonna go help resolve that cliffhanger, and then they just end the game. So I'd really like to see that. Plus that game was like 2000 something for the PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1.
Mhm.
Okay.
I know they were going to do a sequel to it, Mega Man Legends 3, and that was getting announced along the same time with Mighty Number 9, and that was like a whole debacle. Because then they just ended up canceling it.
Gotcha. I'm thinking, and like this is sort of a hard question because gaming, like more so than any other genre, they get sequels because once things iterate and they improve, and it's the one medium where sequels are oftentimes better than the original. Not always. So I'm still racking my brain here a little bit. Kenny, you got anything?
I would say mine is Azura's Wrath.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
Azura's Wrath. I really enjoyed it. I loved the cinematics to that game and the time-based, gameplay. It was great. Yes, I didn't like that I had to buy the DLC to finish the story, but I thought that was a game that had potential for more. Like I could see there being another one.
What was that system on?
That was on 360 and PS3.
Okay.
That's by if I remember, Capcom. Yeah,
Can you even buy the DLC anymore with it?
you should be. You
hope
should be
so.
able to buy the DLC.
Because I'd like to. I know it's on Steam as well too. I want to play through it because it's pretty much just like an interactive anime.
Yep, exactly.
They structure it like chapters and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, you got anything for this one?
I mean, I'm just thinking, and I actually haven't played a whole lot of it, but I know it. So I'm thinking of Shadow of the Colossus. So I mean, it had a remake.
Two.
Which, yeah.
Did
So,
it have,
which
it
was-
had a remaster and then a remake. Yeah, yeah.
So which seemed beautiful and was a pretty awesome remake for a game. But that game never had a sequel, like a real sequel.
True. Well, if you beat it, you would understand why.
Well,
I think isn't it a spiritual successor to Ico as well?
I think it's supposed to be
kinda
in the
the
same
same.
universe, but totally different gameplay. I actually played the PS3 version of it earlier this year. I know that it was right after the PS4 version came out. There was all this talk about it. And I was like, I really want to just play the original, and I don't want to spend the $40. So I played through the whole thing, and that game's freaking awesome.
It's fun. I played through half of it. I have that in the Ico collection. I want to go
Okay.
back and play that.
So my answer is Spec Ops: The Line. And if I had some more time to think about it, maybe I'd give you something else. But Spec Ops: The Line was an excellent third-person shooter on the PS3, Xbox 360. Main character voiced by Nolan North. You play as a soldier. It sort of begins as a somewhat generic cover shooter where you're, you got your military bros. You're going through and you're saving people from terrorists and stuff like that. But as it progresses, it has really interesting moral dilemmas. It has the old game cliche of who's really the monster here as you go on, but it does it in a way that is so successful that other games haven't really matched. I do have hopes that this year's Call of Duty is going in that direction. From what I've seen, I think that they maybe took some inspiration from it. But yeah, that's a really underrated game, Spec Ops: The Line. You could probably find it cheap online if you're interested in checking it out.
Ooh, I got a real answer.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono
Chrono Cross, dude.
Chrono Cross.
Just come out.
Does it go? I don't want it.
Why not?
It's
No.
a good. It's you ever played Chrono Cross?
No, I haven't.
It's a great game.
It's pretty beloved.
It's pretty fun. I mean, I also like have the nostalgia boner for it, but it's pretty good. And you can recruit like a lot of different characters. They don't get a lot of like development as characters, but there's a whole bunch of them.
So,
And you get a
He
naked
wants
girl.
Chrono Trigger 2. He wants it to be
Yeah.
sprites, and he wants it
Yeah.
to be top down.
That
so
would- that
I
would be
got
pretty
I
cool.
got
I
one.
agree.
I got a question for. I never beat this one. I think I beat the first boss in this. Why didn't
Oh, Bloodborne.
exactly.
That's my line. That's
I was
my
gonna
answer.
say. I was just gonna say Bloodborne. Why hasn't that gotten a sequel?
I think it's gonna still happen, and I think Sony owns the IP.
Code Vein.
They oh yeah, that one's another one coming out soon. Every Sony event, every E3 for years, it's like, oh, Bloodborne 2 is coming, Bloodborne 2 is coming. But From Software, they've just been kind of tooting their own horn. They made Sekiro. They are making Elden Ring now.
Yep.
My guess is that Bloodborne 2 early PS5 window.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
So I think
so-
if they don't, then they're. I think the only reason would be that Miyazaki doesn't think he can top himself because it was so good.
It was so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I didn't beat it, and from
Did you?
what I heard, it was amazing.
It is.
And I'm like, well, that one hasn't gotten a sequel, and I feel like from all the buzz I've ever heard about this game, it should get a sequel. you
Yeah,
know?
definitely. Yeah. All right. Thanks for the question, John. As always, if you'd like to be on the show, feel free to leave us a comment here. Get in touch with us on Discord, or mail us a letter. Anything like that. Anyway, this has been the Level With You show. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I really do gotta go get lunch.
Bye.
meat. I'm
Bye.
gonna be
Bye.
screwed for lunch this week.